It's actually on OS4 Depot. Just search for TuneNet patch, and you will now be able to see all of the radio stations that comes up in TuneNet. So, and I discovered a very cool station that somebody has on, I'm assuming maybe a real Amiga, that he's actually streaming some old mods, and that's what you were listening to just a moment ago. So, I was very surprised that TuneNet now is working with the radio stations and everything, so that's nice. So we're going to go through kind of a first user experience. And I'm going to reboot the computer just so you get to hear the startup sound. If you haven't heard the X1000 startup sound, whichever you have. So we're rebooting the computer right now. This is the just booting up Workbench. And so that sound, who created that? He made a whole MP3 of it, and this is a shorter version of it. But it's actually based on the original Amiga 1000's sound that was done during boot up time. So I'm going to show you the original sound from the 1000 and how it's very much like this one. So if you get the sound here. So there's actually some sounds that came with OS4, and one of them is the A1000, and we'll play that. And everybody will probably recognize that for the 1000. And for the X1000, I'll play that one more time, and you can hear that same sound. And I thought it was just so cool to have that. So. Now, so one of the other things that does very well is video playing. And so we have the program MPlayer that's MUI-based installed on here. And the forums on Hyperion and it is a great place to find out things about how to get things configured out, get things working, everything. So you have to definitely check out that. And for the X1000, Steve Tolley recently added a frequently asked questions site. And so that's another place to get information about issues and commonly asked questions. But for MPlayer that you can download from OS4 Depot, one thing that people have mentioned is that in order to get it to work, you have to set the video driver to Cybergraphics and the audio driver to AHI Dev. So after you do that, you can actually play some of the movies, and we have a camera that can record .mov files, and so this player can play that. I'm going to open up one right now, to show kind of some of the things that we found in the X1000 case, and just to have a little bit of fun of seeing the inside of X1000.
Make sure that you have it in the right orientation, like that. And also when we got the computer, we checked that this was compatible with the US 110 volt. So it is. And we had to use our own power cable. And now I'm going to open up the case. serial port here.
So that's kind of a quick look of the X1000 on the inside. Let me go back to my notes. Yeah, so one thing is we found that we haven't installed it yet, but you can actually, so one of the things on the X1000 case, there's not a hard drive LED light, but there are some dockies that you can add down here to show you your hard drive activity, and that's one thing that we want to install. So yeah, again, these are some of the valuable resources. The Hyperion forums, the wiki site that has the frequently asked questions, and also AE on site. Now we're going to show one way that we can check the mic, and we got the X1000 kind of recently, and so the HD audio driver was finished by that time. So we were pleased, and to get this to work, one thing that's very nice for this driver, it tells you exactly where your input for your different units that you can select. So for this example, we have our mic connected to the rear, and it tells you the color and everything. So that makes it very easy to figure out. So I mean, you can actually select the line in, the front mic, rear mic, or the CD to record from. So we have it set to the rear mic. And now you can probably use other programs, but we found that through AHI, there's actually an AHI device, and which is the audio device. And as long as that's mounted, so you can, if it's in your storage drawer, just double click on that and that'll get mounted. Then you can actually use just regular DOS commands. So when you say copy from audio to a file, it's actually going to record something through the mic. And so there's some different parameters that you can have with this command. So you can say how long you want to record for 10 seconds. We're going to record in the AIFF format. It's going to be 16-bit, and the frequency is going to be 44.1 kilohertz. It's going to be in stereo, and we're going to use unit 0. So when we do this and type it in a shell, for 10 seconds, it's going to record.
This is the X1000 mic test. Testing 1, 2, 3.
So it's still recording even right now. So now it's done. And with that, this is just because we probably have to re-sign into the hotel network here. Okay, so now if you copy from RAM to the audio device, you don't even have to have TuneIn or anything. You just use AHI to play AIFF files, actually. And so when you do that, you'll hear.
This is the X1000 mic test. Testing 1, 2, 3.
So, so it works. Yay. AHI works, HD audio works, and so we were happy about everything was working very well. So one thing that we installed also was the LPR device, which allow, probably many have been using this for network printing, and we have had some issues with the LPR device that we've mentioned to Steve during the weekend, but you can download this from OS4 Depot, and it'll allow you to print to a network printer. There's a few things that you have to do to make it work. Now, I think one thing is there's a NSD patch.config, and here you can redirect some of the original devices to the LPR device. So like on the original Amiga, there was a parallel.device, and you can redirect that so that LPR would be used instead. Now, most programs, maybe you don't have to use this, but there are sometimes you may have to go through the parallel port. So that'll be redirected to the LPR. So we did these changes in the nsd patch.config file, which we'll show you here. So yeah, just to show you, to install this, you can go to devs, and you'll see that we have all of our devices in here, including the lpr.device, and that's the only thing that you really need, except for reconfiguring the NSD patch. Oops. Actually, we'll show you this in multi-view. So we were very conscientious in our, commenting the code, in a sense, down here. So we told ourselves that we actually changed this file and commented out a line above line 670, and we added these two. Now, like even the A1 parallel device, maybe you don't really even need this because there's no parallel port even on this X1000, so. Okay, so after that's configured, then the next thing is there's a few environment variables you have to set up. There's a documentation. One of the simplest is just to use the raw setting, and we have our server set up to port 9100, and our address is set to 198.168.1.11. So if you know the address of your printer, and I think a lot of devices support the raw mode, and you know your port number, that's all you need to do to configure in the NVARC area. So if you go to so in this file, we just have. Actually, let me open it up into a different. So that's all we have in this file. So that's all you need to have LPR configured. And okay, there is one more thing. And if you go into the printer, you want to set up that for your printer that you're going to be using the LPR device, and you can use whatever printer driver. We have a TestJet. So with that, we were able to print to our network printer that's in a different room. Now, one thing that was, kind of a workaround that we found to print from a web browser. It's been difficult to print from web browsers just because we don't have a lot of printing capability in OS4. But there's a very cool tool that allows you to do screen grabs. So we're going to open up a web browser. And okay, actually we'll okay. I'm gonna restart the network actually because I'm not connected to the internet. Net. That's probably because. Well, okay, I'll show you an example of, assuming that this is the web page, since right now I'm having a little bit of trouble of, okay, here, I guess it did. Okay. Something is... Well, I can still show you the example of how to do a screen grab, printing from a screen grab. So in Workbench, there's a tool in Utilities called sgrab. So once you open up this program, there's a lot of different options about how you can do screen grabs. We're going to grab only contents, and we're going to give us three seconds to prepare our screen, and we're going to copy it to the clipboard. So I'm going to say mark and grab, and I'm going to prepare what I want to grab. Now I got a crossbar where I can drag exactly what I want to print and screen grab. So now it's been copied to the clipboard. And when I hit view, it's actually now opening up multi-view. And I can hit print, and it'll print that to the printer. So it's just a kind of a quick, easy workaround when you want to print something from the web. You know, you can always copy and paste text, but if you want graphics and stuff, this is very easy. We were able to print out some coupons and stuff, and it worked well. So.
What's it save the file as?
Well, in this case, it's just in the clipboard, actually. So if you go to the clipboard area in RAM, it's right here. So you can actually save it to a file if you like instead. I can show you that. Utilities, screen grab. So instead of doing the clipboard, you can actually save it to a file. We can do RAM, let's say tests. And you can actually change the format that you want. If you want a JPEG or PNG, it allows you to do that. So you can actually save it in that format, and we can do the same thing. Actually, in this case, I can grab anything I want on the screen. So I can even grab, let's say, this icon, and I can view that, and there it is, and I can print that if I like. You know, so it's any program, anything that's listed here, you can actually grab. It's a pretty cool program. Okay, so that's. Oh, okay, so one other thing that we discovered is that if you have like a SATA-based, CD-ROM drive or something you want to play audio from, with the tool that comes with OS4, there's a program called Play CD, and so we had a little bit of trouble getting this to work on our X1000 initially, but with some help from the club, actually, and also we found it on one of the forums, there's a tool type that you can change. And if you enable Use AHI, then you will be allowed to play audio CDs. Otherwise, with some of the SATA-based drives, it won't work because there's not a separate audio connector on the back of the drives anymore. So with that, and also another nice feature of this program is that if you haven't used some of the CD players, or maybe if you've even used it on probably Windows, it can actually tell you what your tracks are in your CD. Normally there's no names for all your tracks that are on your CD, but on the internet there's a database, and this program actually goes out on the database, finds out what your CD is, and shows you all your track names on your CD. So that's a very cool feature. With this program, we have noticed that there is some choppiness when it plays. On TuneNet, it's fine. Some other programs that we've tried on the OS4 Depot, it's fine. So we know it's probably something to do with the Play CD. Okay, so we got Oh yeah, so now Timberwolf versus OWB. You know, just when I was trying OWB a little bit ago and comparing when I had my SAM 440 up, it's just so much faster. Then you go to Timberwolf, and it's like, you know, it's way faster. It's a little bit unstable, but you know, with some improvements in Timberwolf, I think that would be the browser to go for. We've been using OWB more because it's a little bit more stable. But in terms of speed and some additional features and everything, we actually were able to use the Yahoo IM messaging through the web browser and everything, and it was working very well on Timberwolf. And so we were very impressed about that. So now if I can, let me see if I can get the network back up, and then we can try, and I can give you a comparison between the two browsers. I'm going to try to just reboot, actually. I'm using Linux here. Well, while we're waiting for that, one thing is I was installing the SDK. Actually, I want to show you the speed of how fast the SDK was actually installed. It's a huge package, a lot of files. On my SAM 440, it took probably 20, 30 minutes. On my X1000, it seemed like it was done in less than 5 minutes. It's like, it's I don't know, it was amazing how fast it was. So I wanted just to show you how fast like installations like that is, and just even decompressing the files and everything is just really fast. So I'm gonna let me just rename this to old, and we'll put that in here, and yes, we have an archive of the newest SDK that came out just probably within the last week, and we're gonna decompress everything to RAM. All these files here. Now in RAM, we're going to open up the SDK install, and we're going to install the SDK. And okay, just to point out how big this. Now this is, some of these files are compressed actually. So if you go to information, you find out that with the files that are in here right now, it's 79 megabytes, but a lot of the files are in LHA still. So I'm going to do next, and I'm going to install everything onto my system partition. So it's going to create an SDK drawer. It's going to do the full installation, and we'll just let it install here. This is the base installation. Yeah, so we don't have to wait for that, right? I mean, we have multitasking on the Amiga, so let's try the web browser again. we're actually back on the internet. So this is actually, we can actually go to, let's see. So it's still installing. We're 13 to 32. Well, actually, maybe I actually have it in my, oh no, I didn't put anything here yet. Okay. We'll go to the, so actually, there it is, it's done. It was done in the background. We're gonna say finish. And I'm going to just show you how many files and everything are in this directory. It's a 211 megabyte directory, and I installed that probably in less than 5 minutes. I mean, it's incredible. Okay. So this is the AE on site, and maybe just as a comparison, we can maybe just watch how long that takes to load, and then we're going to try to load Timberwolf here. Timberwolf. Okay. You can see a difference. It's faster. You know, we can even go to maybe like Yahoo or something a little bit more that has lots of things. I loaded up in a few seconds. And over here, it's still going. So you can see a huge difference in the performance on the two browsers. And for whatever reason, this one didn't get formatted correctly. Let's see if it. Oh, so there's also that too. So there's a little bit more capability on the Timberwolf in terms of being more later to the browsing. So one thing is that when we got the X1000, we had a beta version of Timberwolf, which prevented us from doing copy and paste. And we found that the Freedom Brothers had released the latest one, and so we were able to install that, and we got a lot of the great features that they've finalized on, which we have a download browser, a download management. So if you go to like OS4 Depot,
Do you see as you continue using Timberwolf for a few minutes that it starts dragging down the rest of your operating system?
Sometimes I've noticed, yeah, there is something going on there, yes. But the thing that's happens is it does crash, and because of that, we've been using OWB more for the most part. So,
If I boot into a fresh start, I'll go to the Timberwolf, and it's fine by itself. But once I start using a few other things, it problems.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, it seems like when we were starting to use two browsers like this, after a while there was some interaction or something going on, and it seems like I'm not sure if it's the browsers or just something that's going on, yeah. But I mean, like for the, one thing about Timberwolf is that you can actually save it out, and it'll, oh, sorry, we have to select save a file, and it comes up with a requester, and actually there is a download manager here. So on OWB, at least the version I'm using, maybe I haven't really used MUI OWB much, but on this version of OWB, it doesn't have doesn't show you what's downloading or anything, so this is very nice. The other thing that's nice is that if there is a link on here that's a PDF file, it'll open up Ami PDF for you automatically, so that's also nice. Yeah, is there any questions? I think I've covered most of what I wanted to cover. Let me just double check here that if I. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could have just. Yeah, I think I closed ODBB just now. Yes. Yeah. Actually, there is. Okay, I do remember. There is one more thing I wanted to show you, and that's the speed of. Actually, I was very impressed when the X1000 was brought here in AmiWest a year or two ago, and I was able to run the UAE on it, and it's like almost like real time. It feels like you're actually able to run, those classic games, classic programs through UAE, and it's like real time. It's not any sluggish or anything. It's like it feels the response and everything feels very, very good. So let me just show you that. I'm going to just, and with the Run UAE program, it makes it very, very convenient to start up an ADF. All you have to do is you have an ADF, you double click it, and it's going to load it. And there's some emulation for showing you the old floppy disk. So everybody recognizes Turrican, I'm sure. It's been a very popular game. I played it a lot on my brother's Amiga. So, oops, actually I'm hitting the pause button by accident. I'm not so good at using the keyboard controls, so. So it's, oops. So playing classic games and everything is, the only thing I need to get is probably a nice joystick. I think I think Amiga Kit has a USB type joystick, and it'll be easier than a keyboard. So, and I think to quit is like Control Alt Q. So I mean, actually all of OS4 now has this Run UAE program. It makes it very easy to run some classic games and everything. It's just on the X1000 it's fast. So, any questions?
Have you installed Qt?
I have not. I'm not. I need to understand more about what Qt is, and I've heard about a new browser that people have been working on called Qt Web.
Right.
And it seems like there's one person that's working on it, and it's in a beta. It seems like in a beta state on OS4 Depot.
Yeah, I hadn't installed
But,
it yet.
but I haven't tried it, so we can give it a try.
I'm sure it's probably a little harder than just installing one app.
Yeah, if there's a lot of components, I don't know.
It'll take you a long time.
Yeah, okay, it'll take me some time to figure that out. Yeah, okay, I won't go. Yeah. But we've tried art. I can give you one more example of a program that is working very well. Is FX Paint. We were demoing this to a club, and this is working very well. Actually, I guess we have a different screen mode for this program, so I think. Okay. Actually, something. Oh, okay. This is okay. So we just got a. So it uses the last. It looks like it uses the last. Like this is actually a USB drive that we were using here. So, okay. Settings. Let's just try to go back to a. 1024 to 768. Okay. Okay, let's go to. But yeah, I mean, this program is. I mean, I have not used this program extensively, but it works very well. A little bit that I've used it, so. So, I don't know, is there any questions? I don't have a lot to demo on this one, but it's working in because it was originally based on, well, this one, this version I have here looks like it might be the 68K version. Yeah, is there any, that's pretty much it. So is there any questions? I think I shut it down. Yeah, I shut it down actually. Oh, I shut it down?
When I shut it down, Grim Reapers didn't work Grim Reapers when I shut it down.
Okay. Yeah, I kept it open for some time. It let it download one of the things it was downloading, but I think I shut it down probably midway through the. Yeah. But yeah, we've been very happy with the X1000 and hoping to see multi-core support sometime soon.
When did you get it?
Just July, actually. So.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can do it here. So I'm going to disrupt the stream for a second. Yep, and so this, actually put it on, put this on 4, press F4. And that should be the video. So we're going to lose this guy. I'm going to this guy. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're fixing that right now. The problem is that the video sync signal is coming from your system through all that Ethernet cable and everything. It's not working as well. So, but I just fixed it. So Robert should be on 2, and you should be on 1 now. And we'll see if that was actually the problem. Press 1 on the number 1 key on the keyboard, and that should be you. So it's preview, input 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then those are the lives. So if you want to go live to 1, it's F1, and there's no transition there. And if you want to pop between them, spacebar. But yeah, it should be solid now. It shouldn't glitch at all, as long as that doesn't go to demo mode again. But it's recording.
200. You looking at viewfinder?
Did you see that YouTube auction I sent you?
I did, and yes, it's almost surely just a.
200. God, it's a good damn deal.
It's almost surely just.
Yeah.
But it's. Let me tell you from first-hand experience, it's still not fixed.
Yeah, doing the work.
So the connectors are unbelievable.
Which is probably why it's breaking. Let me get some more water.
Clearly has some more adhesive reinforcement plastic to keep rubbing from happening on the actual traces. So like they've augmented it.
They know they did a bad design there.
And mine had none of that.
Gen 1. So just talking with Alex Perez here at AmiWest 2013. Working on the video stream. So we just swapped out the source for the video toaster, and that should help with the a lot with the stabilization of the video. Robert Bernardo is pointing his camera at me, so we'll go ahead and put that one live. And I have a few more little video tricks up my sleeve. I have a few more little video tricks up my sleeve that hopefully we'll be able to bring those online in the next, as the show progresses throughout the day. Next up on the feed, oh, and for those who are tuning in who missed it this morning, I'm working on getting the video from Trevor posted to YouTube. So we are making progress there. Let's see, www.AmiWest.org.net. Oh, I should stop this.